Welcome to our Game of the Week telecast here on Local Access Television in West Michigan. A Seaway Conference showdown. And as Al Western, the athletic director, was saying to us, Floyd, before we got underway here this evening, this one could go a long way in determining who ultimately wins the Seaway Conference.
Well, both teams obviously at the top of the Seaway Conference with Muskegon Heights being 3-0 and Ludington 2-1. This definitely is going to be a big factor for both teams, as if Heights is able to win today, then they'd be right in there for a share, at least of a tie of the Seaway Conference.
Tigers, of course, are coached by Glenn Metcalf. The Ludington Orioles are coached by Tom Sarazinski. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our telecast supporters, the 3rd Avenue Family Clinic with Dr. Robert H. Pierce and Pamela K. Brown, family nurse practitioner, and also the Clover Bar and Restaurant in Grand Haven. We're just seconds away from the kickoff of this Seaway Conference contest from Muskegon Heights. Now, the Ludington Orioles kicking off to get this one underway. Muskegon Heights with the reception, and the ball carrier brought down at about the 33-yard line. Getting up is number 80. That's Kenneth Samuel. Floyd, I'm real anxious to take a look at this Jamoka Sanders. We've heard so much about this young man. He ran all over Reese Puffer a few weeks ago. Let's see what he can do against this very tough and determined Ludington Oriole defense. High formation. Pitch going. Number 1, the ball carrier.
Well, an interesting factor you were talking about with Heights over Reese Puffer. You know, Ludington coming off a big win over Reese Puffer, 20-14 last week.
Well, you got to wonder what's going with the Rockets. They were supposed to be really tough, and they've lost some ball games already here early in the season.
It's going to be 2nd and 7.
Muskegon Heights on the deep pitch. Good defensive penetration. Number 44 for Ludington, that was Kirkpatrick, a two-way performer. He's also an offensive back. Now Ludington's obviously going to try to try to disrupt the flow early.
Can bring up about a 3rd and 9 with 10 minutes and 26 seconds left first quarter.
Quarterback is Gilbert. Counterplay going the other way is number 21. That was Sink Moody, listed as a wide receiver, I guess, kind of on a wingback counter, I guess you could say.
Heights coming out with the split formation. It is a wingback. Put the wingback inside of where their tight end is. And Ed Ames able to get in there and make the tackle to stop Muskegon Heights from the first down. It's going to be a 4th and about 5.
So we're going to see the first punt of the ball game. Going to get it away from about the 37-yard line. Ludington's going to let it roll, and it's going to come to rest at about the 32 or 33-yard line, where the Orioles will take over.
Well, Jason Stoffel out there back for Ludington to field that punt. He chose not to run it. It was a low kick, but it was bouncing kind of a weird way, so I think he made a good choice there and just letting it drop, because that's going to give Ludington pretty good field position on about their own 33-yard line.
Orioles attired in their travel white with the orange and black trim. Muskegon Heights in their home black with the orange pants, the orange numerals. The Orioles moving right to left on your screen. Quarterback is Bell. And Sofa takes the carry. Good yardage for him across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Nice pickup on the play by Jason Sofa. We saw plenty of this young man last year against the Spring Lake Lakers.
Sure did. He went in all over last year in some of the games that we saw him in. And Sanders was in there for Heights, able to stop Sofa and bring up going to be a 1st and 10 for Ludington.
Backs in the eye. 2 wideouts. Again, it's Sofa on the carry. Probably going to hear his name a lot tonight.
Coleman in on the tackle.
Boy, you got to believe, Floyd, that this kid's going to play some major college football. He's 6'2", 215 pounds.
Well, I know of several colleges that have been inquiring about him, and I haven't talked to the coaching staff personally at Ludington, but I know of some of the colleges that have inquired about him.
2-back offense being employed. This time the handoff goes to Kirkpatrick. And he's all the way across midfield to about the 46-yard line.
He'll bring up another first down for the Orioles.
Ludington marching at will at this point. Bell handing it off to Sofa again. Nothing really fancy about their attack. They just come at you.
Well, when you can gain them 5 yards at a crack, 5 to 10 yards a crack running the ball, that's what you're going to keep doing. And that's going to be a 2nd and 6 for the Orioles.
And we're just about 7.5 minutes into this first quarter, or I should say 4.5 minutes, and Sofa again on the carry, and the rain has started. But we're not worried about that tonight.
No, we got some good facilities here. And
I want to say thank you to Al Western, the athletic director at Muskegon Heights, who has really bent over backwards in getting us going here this evening.
some nice facilities, and the field looks great out there. And as you said, Klaus, the rain is really coming down now, as the Orioles are going to be looking at a third and about half a foot.
Handing it off to Sofa. I don't know whether he made it. It's going to be close.
Progress. He's got a first down. 35-yard line. One of the schools I know that was interested in inquiring about Sofa was Michigan State. And, I don't know of any of the other schools, but I know that Michigan State definitely was interested in how he was doing last year.
Well, if he's got the academics to go with the athletic ability, he can probably pretty much call his ticket. Ball at about the 30-yard line. Kirkpatrick this time, his second carry in this drive. Again, the drive starting at about the 33 or 34-yard line.
Well, when you got running backs like Kirkpatrick and Sofa, it's easy to see why Ludington has been doing a good job this year in the offensive line that they got also, which we'll go over in a little bit here. But Jamie Kirkpatrick is a senior. He's 5'11", 200 pounds, and he's a solid 200 pounds. He's as big as any of the linemen, it looks like, from here.
Yeah, they've got a huge offensive line that he runs behind. We'll talk about that a little more. Here's Bell. Wanted to throw, then pulled it back down, and he was tackled at about the 31 or 32-yard line.
Good coverage by Heights, and they weren't fooled at all in the play action. As Samuels is in on the tackle for the Tigers, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
Big third down play here for the Orioles. Oregon coming around on the end around. There's another weapon that we haven't talked about. Bob Organ, a senior, 6'5", 250 pounds.
And he's
well, where do they feed those guys up in Ludington? Wow.
I don't know, but it's something good, because there's some good-sized guys out there. This is going to bring up a 4th down and about, I'd say, half of a yard on the 25-yard line. And timeout is going to be decision time now. And as you said, Klaus, that rain is really coming down now. The sky looks like it's kind of clear and partly cloudy off to the north of us, and it doesn't look all that dark above us, but it's sure raining pretty hard right now.
Some hardy football fans digging the umbrellas out. As we mentioned, very important implications involved in this particular contest between the Heights Tigers and the Orioles of Ludington. Ball at about the 25-yard line. Bell at quarterback. Kirkpatrick and Sofa back with him. Sofa gets the carry and a nice stop.
Short.
Number 50, that's Coleman, yeah.
And Coleman's just a junior. He's 5'6", 160. That's a big defensive play for the Tigers as they were able to stop the Orioles on about a half a yard for the first down, on the fourth down.
So the ball's going to go over to the Heights Tigers. It'll be their second offensive thrust of the ball game. Number 1, the ball carrier, that's Simon. He's a tailback. He's joined by Darren Davis, Kenya Gilbert, and the receivers are Sanders, number 9, Samuels, number 80, and Moody, number 21. The left tackle is Steve Cazares. The right tackle is Javon Johnson. We'll get the rest of them in a minute. Heights Tigers marching out of there smartly after the big fourth down stop.
Well, we had 2 plays here. That was the second and third play. They get out and get the first down. And Heights taking advantage of the play prior to this one, hit first down of that counter play, and taking advantage of the reaction of Ludington.
Rounding out the Heights Tigers, we've got Coleman at right guard, number 50, and Easel at center, number 51. Heights trying to go off that right side.
Well, that was 81, Bob Organ, along with Aaron Bell. And we talked about the size of Bob Organ, and at 250 pounds, a solid 250 pounds, able to stop Heights and put them into a 2nd and 8 situation.
I formation. Handing it off. Good yardage on the play for number 5. That's Darren Davis, the fullback.
Sofa in on the tackle, and he had not made it. That was going to be a touchdown. As Heights showing the speed that they have and why they're able to be leading the Seaway Conference 3-0 at this time. They're quick, especially with the way the weather is out there.
Yeah, it's really amazing. That turf is starting to soften up, and Heights is doing a beautiful job negotiating the real estate. Handing it off to number 3 this time.
Aaron Bell did an excellent job over there at the end over there for Ludington, containing on the right side. That's what you want your contained man to do, and not let him get on the outside, and he did an excellent job there.
So that's going to put the Heights Tigers a little more in the hole. 2nd and long. Ball at the left hash mark, closer to the Ludington bench. Heights send a man in motion. Fumble on the play. Think the Heights Tigers have it, or do they?
They got it. That being the Tigers. And
one of the Orioles pointing that they had it, but apparently Muskegon Heights did fall on the pigskin. Scored it out of there.
I think that was just a bad handoff. That really wasn't even a factor because of the rain, which will be a factor in playing that football. They're going to have to really hang on tight to it. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 15 for the Tigers.
The pass. This was intended for Sanders, I believe.
Well, Aaron Bell's been all over the field. is the guy that made the big play to put the Heights down a 5-yard loss, and he had an interception right there and slid on by him. He was kind of looking down the field, I think, before he caught that. Well, then we about a 4th and 15 for the Tigers.
So the Tigers are probably going to try to pin the Orioles deep in their territory.
Well, timeout. Coach Metcalf is thinking about it right now because the ball is on the 43-yard line of Ludington. And his defense has been playing some pretty good defense, so I think he might say, let's go for it.
3rd Avenue Family Clinic and the Clover Bar and Restaurant in Grand Haven, our telecast supporters on this high school game of the week. The cream of the crop from the Seaway Conference, Muskegon Heights and Ludington.
And it does look like he's going to go for it. He want a 4th and 15.
Big gamble here for Metcalf early in the ball game. Nice job of running. But I don't think they got the 15 yards they needed.
Well, that was Davis to the right side. He was almost thrown for about another 10-yard loss and showing his speed, great speed. And able to get the ball back over short of the first down. Ball going to be on the, where they mark it, about the 41-yard line of Ludington.
So the Orioles in excellent field position as they start their second drive of the contest. And we've just about completed the opening quarter, a little less than a minute and a half remaining. Pitch again to Sofa. And he's close to midfield. Pickup of about 7 or 8 on the play off the right side.
Rain's still coming down, not as hard as it was before. And that might be even more of a factor for the Heights, because they're using a lot of speed, and Ludington has a lot of power back.
Sofa again, the ball carrier. The man deepest in the formation slashes off the right side. Another nice pickup of about 6 or 7.
And that's not to say that the power back for Ludington don't have some speed also. But it looks like it's going to be a game tonight where there's, I think Heights got more of the speed and Ludington more of the size, hard driving runners here.
Just shy of midfield with about 28 seconds left in the opening quarter. Sofa for the 3rd straight time takes the handoff from the quarterback's Bell and busts across the 50 to about the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter with no score thus far. Ludington and Muskegon Heights, our West Michigan high school game of the week, underwritten in part by the 3rd Avenue Family Clinic and the Clover Bar and Restaurant in Grand Haven. We're coming back with the second quarter. Ready to get things underway in the second quarter. Looked like somebody might have jumped offside, but there were no flags.
So for the ball carrier again. And we're going to see a lot of him, like we said already. He's tackled in by Sanders. Sanders is 6'3", 175 pounds, taking in a 215-pound running back.
We were just told a few minutes ago that Bob Organ made the All-State team last year, and Jason Sofa was only an honorable mention. But there were a lot of backs around the state of Michigan last year.
3rd and 2 for the Orioles.
Looks like that was Kirkpatrick. And I think he's going to be a little short. Good gang tackling by the Heights.
Nice defense. That's Stovall. And along with Coleman in there, 2 of the guys in the interior of the line of the Heights stopping. Bring up a 4th and 2.
Well, looks like Tom Sarazinski is going to gamble. Now Sofa is dropping back. So he will do the punting. He'll kind of try to angle it down there. That's a pretty good kick. Ball's going to be down at about the, about 11 or 12 yard line?
It's going to be in about the 8-yard line, I think.
I think you're right. Inside the 10.
Our spotters here, they're going to check that out. They got this down. They knew that.
Got a couple of members of the Ludington
punt.
coaching fraternity in front of us here.
They're going to give us some insight here.
They're saying the 7.
All right, now it's done. They had the glasses, though.
Yeah, I left mine home tonight.
1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 7-yard line. Their own.
So Muskegon Heights trying to get something going here to establish field position. Off the right side up to about the 10. So we'll call it a pickup of 3, make it 2nd and 7. Davis is the ball carrier.
Got about 4 on that play. Going to bring up 2nd and 6. Tigers were in a 4-mile speed. Now they're coming out in a twins right formation.
No, we haven't seen him put the ball up much. It's been mostly running. They did try that one pass from the halfback. Muskegon Heights trying to establish things here in the 2nd quarter. No score if you've just joined us.
Sofa and Ames in on the tackle for the Orioles. But Tigers going to be able to get a 1st down. They got a little bit of working room here. At least got a little room to punt if they have to now. That was their first objective.
High formation. With 2 potential pass receivers to the right side.
Look like initially there was some movement by Ludington, but there was no flags, and about a 6-yard gain for Simon. He's a senior, 5'9", 170 pounds. And bring up about a 2nd and 4 for the Tigers.
Big Bob Organ over there on the left side. Pitch out went. Simon again, the ball carrier. So he's lugging a lot of mail here in the first half of this contest.
Well, he's got 2 consecutive 1st downs here. And Hoganson was in there to stop him for the Orioles. But
this drive started on the 8-yard line. So the Heights Tigers are moving smartly. Played about 4 minutes of this 2nd quarter as this game moves along very rapidly. Pitch going again, I believe, to Simon.
Sofa, along with the Patrick over there for the Orioles, going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Tigers. Ball is on the Tigers' 36-yard line.
So they started it on the 8. They're on the 36. They picked up 28 yards. Still a long way to go. No score in the ball game. Quarterback's looking to throw. Got it out to number 21 for the Tigers.
Well, we got a flag on the play. That came right at the beginning of the play. That usually means somebody jumped offside.
Sophomore running back Moody was the receiver.
We talked to Patrick, so it is against the Tigers. They had a 2nd and 6.
This is going to put them back a bit.
Bringing up a 2nd and 11.
Illegal procedure is the call against the Tigers. That'll keep the down box on 2nd down. But instead of 6 yards to go, they have 11 yards to go now. A lot of possibilities, 2nd and long. Trips formation to the right. Here's the quarterback throwing it out there. Looks like it might have been Sanders on the reception.
Gilbert did a nice job getting over there. It's really hard to tell the numbers, the single numbers here for the Tigers with the way the lights are out here. But I think it was Sanders. He did an excellent catch. And he's got to have 1st down for the Tigers.
That was Witcher, number 8. As you indicated, 8 and 9 are very hard to see, especially when they're way across the field.
Ball is on the 45-yard line for the Tigers.
Pitch goes to number 1. That's Davis, or Simon, rather. Well,
Sofa and Kirkpatrick in there on the tackle for the Orioles, but
excellent two-way football players.
Calling them both sides of the ball here tonight. Tigers able to get 5 yards though. 2nd and 5 for them.
It's about midfield. Gilbert is throwing. Got his man wide open. Going to call pass interference, I believe, on Bell.
Well, that was intended for Samuel. And he had it, and it bounced right off his pad. But Tigers going to get a 1st down. Anyways, with the call. And that's going to make it 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line of, just short of 35-yard line of the Orioles.
Probably the deepest penetration thus far for the Heights Tigers in this ball game. Keep in mind, this drive started on the 8.
And 4-down territory. Four-down territory is a little bit wider here as Coach Metcalf has shown that as he went for it when the ball was on the 45-yard line. So I don't think there's any doubt that he'll go for it down here when the ball is just short of the 30 of the Orioles. 2nd and 5.
This is Simon again. Jason Sofon to stop. And Craig Coleman was also to lend a hand.
Well, 5 minutes and 38 seconds left in the 1st half, and the games we've been covering this year have been a lot of running. They've been really fast games. Almost like that there's been some kind of rule change like in the NFL, because usually our games have been about 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We've been finishing about an hour and 45 minutes here. Still no score between the Muskegon Heights Tigers and the Ludington Orioles.
Ball at about the 30-yard line.
3rd and 4.
Here's Gilbert. Hands it off.
Sofa and Coleman in on the tackle. But not before the Tigers get another 1st down. And they're in the inside of 25-yard line, about the 20-yard line of the Orioles.
Very important the way this quarterback for the Heights Tigers has taken him down the field here. Ball at about the 24. Trips right formation. 2 back from the eye. Simon on the carry. Simon breaks a tackle. Across the 20 down to about the 17-yard line off the right side.
Coleman in again on the tackle.
He's made a pack of them on this drive.
I'm impressed with the speed also that we've been seeing out here from Heights. And Gilbert, like you said, doing an excellent job of mixing it up, being able to throw the ball when he needs to, and when he doesn't need to. As the Tigers being able to get about 5-6 yards of crack. They got 7 on that one. They'll bring up a 2nd and 3.
And they're looking to put one on the board here in the play there.
Well, he ran into Bob Organ. We talked about him, 6'5" and 250 pounds. About a 3-yard loss. Going to bring up a 3rd and 6, just under 4 minutes. Still no score between the Tigers and the Orioles.
A drive that started on the 8. 3rd down situation. And the Heights Tigers going for that 1st down again. It was Simon.
And Sofa on the tackle.
Boy, they're going to know each other's zip codes by the time this evening's over. They've seen a lot of each other already.
I'll tell you, we're talking about the offense, the great speed of the Tigers and the power running of the Orioles, but this is a great defensive team for Ludington and a great defensive team for the Tigers. So there's still no score here, and you don't end up leading any conference, especially the Seaway Conference, unless you have good defense.
Well, Coach, you know that the defense never gets any respect. It's always the offense, what the offense did, what the quarterback did, what the halfback did. You never hear what the linebacker did.
No, you never
it's a two-way game.
Right.
Many people forget that sometimes.
Well, that's because everyone's so excited about seeing the big long runs.
Well, this is certainly out to be a heck of a year for the Muskegon area football. With the Heights Tigers playing well as they are, and particular night, Muskegon, of course, is having another outstanding year, knocking off previous #1 Traverse City a week ago, and taking on Saginaw Arthur Hill on this particular. Let's not forget Muskegon Catholic before I get those people upset.
Good play in the first half here. 4th and 1 for the Tigers.
Going for it on 4th down, and I think he's got it.
Gilbert just kept driving ahead, and this I think he was stopped, but he was able to drive through, and he does get the 1st down.
A la Freddie Solomon. People remember that young man.
This is almost the area where the Tigers were able to stop the Orioles on their 4th down attempt. It's going to be on about the 12-yard line of the Ludington Orioles.
The Heights Tigers have practically had the ball the whole 2nd quarter, it seems like. They started this drive on their own 8 after Jason Sofa had punted and put them in that position.
Coleman in there to make stops, going up a 2nd and 9. Samuel going right ahead and getting a yard on that play. That's about one of the only plays where the Tigers haven't got at least 4 yards on a play.
Pitch going, wanted to throw it. Now he's hemmed in and still managed to get away from the people that were pursuing him. That was Darren Davis.
Well, Davis showing his great speed, and also I like his natural running ability. There are things with certain running backs that you can't really coach them on, the ability to cut and to make those moves. You can go over drills and practice with them to get into situations, but making those natural cuts is just an ability type thing.
Less than 3 minutes remaining in this 2nd quarter. Still no score, but the Heights Tigers looking for that initial tally.
3rd and 4, and the Tigers can still get a first down.
Pitch goes to Simon. And Simon is close. Ball down at about the, looks like about the 3-yard line.
It's going to be real close enough that they're going to want a measurement here. And that would bring up a 4th down if the Tigers are short. And they can get a first down if they get to about the 3-yard line.
Boy, how many times are you going to see a football team march 92 yards the way the Tigers have?
They got the first down.
90 now, but if they get in the end zone, it'll be 92-yard drive.
4 downs, Bill, 3 yards. With 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. Still no score between the Heights Tigers and the Ludington Orioles.
And Muskegon Heights very deliberate coming out of that huddle. They feel they're in a pretty good position right now. And that's going to be a touchdown. For Muskegon Heights, I believe it's going to be Davis. I was going to say Simon, yeah. But it was Davis.
Yeah. And that was a nice drive. Originally, I think it was on the 7-yard line.
So we'll call it a 93-yard drive for the score at 2:14, with Davis going off the left side from about 2 yards out. Point after being tried. It is up, and it is good. Clock is stopped. 2:14 remaining in the second quarter. Teams coming back up the field. The Heights Tigers have drawn first blood, and with the point after, they go on top, 7-0. How are we doing, David?
Impressive 93-yard drive. If you're going to have a team score on you, you always say, hey, make them drive that football down there. Don't give them an easy one. And Ludington didn't make it easy for the Tigers, as they made them go 93 yards. That drive aided by a pass interference call that kept the Tigers on the roll.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, it was just a little bit of combination of passing and running the ball. 5 yards at a crack for the most part.
So the Heights Tigers getting ready to kick off. Muskegon Heights was offside apparently on the kickoff.
It's been a pretty mistake-free game, as we've only had 2 penalties, 2 or 3, this being second.
That Heights defense composed of Moody, Sanders, Burse, Davis, Stovall, Coleman, Witcher, Samuels, Roberson, Easel, and Johnson.
Taylor Robertson, who's been playing center out there for Muskegon Heights. Pretty good-sized guy. He's 6'3". Where did I lose that? Take that back. He's 6 foot, 272 pounds. Pretty good-sized center. Cover a lot of area. It's tough on the opposing team nose guard and linebackers.
So a walk-off. Muskegon Heights was offside on the kick so they'll put the ball from the 40. They'll march it back 5 yards, I believe. I think the official is explaining what he's going to do. Now, I have not seen the walk-off yet.
Game's been going really fast, as we said earlier. It's been going slow since the score. Only 2 seconds off the clock, and we had several delays here.
I thought he was going to walk it off, but must have been offsetting flags. About the best thing we can determine from here. So Wilson tries it again. Kind of squibs it off the right side. It's fumbled by Ludington, and the Heights Tigers are down quickly.
Steve Ames down there for Ludington fielding that kick. And after he was able to pick it up, he had no time to go anywhere. It was excellent coverage by the kickoff team of the Tigers.
So the Orioles will go to work from about their 20.
Just going to say, going to give the Orioles good position of 20, which isn't too bad.
That's Jason Sofa on the carry.
Other than they have to go 80 yards in about a minute and 40 seconds. Bring up about a second and third for the Orioles.
Now, a minute and a half remaining before the half comes to an end. Let's see if the Ludington Orioles play it conservative or they try to go for a bomb here. Straight ahead goes.
Well, they had a draw play.
Sofa.
Is what they looked like they intended to do, but the Tigers weren't surprised at all.
No, they certainly weren't.
Stop Ludington. Going to bring up a 3rd and 3 with 53 seconds left.
I think the Tigers are entertaining the idea of maybe getting the ball back before the half comes to an end. They're pinched in tightly. And Sofa getting away from the flow of traffic.
Getting first down. 38 seconds. As soon as they set that clock, they'll start the clock up.
And that's pretty much going to kill the idea of the Heights getting the ball back before the intermission comes up.
Bruce in for the Tigers as Coleman comes out and gets a breather. He's been all over the field here first half.
Jason Sofa again. Ball's going to be at about the 46-yard line, looks like. And that's about going to take care of it. Muskegon Heights will go to the locker room with a 7-0 lead in this Seaway Conference showdown between the Orioles of Ludington and the Tigers of Muskegon Heights. Now getting ready to get things underway here in the second half. The Heights Tigers with a 7-0 lead. They picked up the only score of the game on a 93-yard drive. Jason Sofa had punted the Heights Tigers deep in their own end. The mixture of Gilbert's fine signal calling and some excellent running and a pass interference penalty along the way helped Muskegon Heights negotiate those 93 yards. They came off the 2:14 mark of the second quarter as it was Davis going in from 3 yards out. The point after good by Wilson. And that's where we stand right now at the half, 7-0. 3rd Avenue Family Clinic and the Clover Bar and Restaurant. Along as our telecast supporters, I'm Klaus Helfers, along with Floyd Fonte, and our lumberjack cameraman, Dave Hamather. Lumberjacks. I thought that was a hockey team.
Nope.
Apparently a football team, too, yeah.
Been great defense on both sides. I said it earlier in the game, but the Orioles and the Tigers playing great defense, of course, to have this game only be 7-0. And a lot of offense also, even though it's only a 7-0 ball game. Both teams have been moving up and down the field pretty consistently, usually at about 5 yards a crack for both teams.
Unofficially, Muskegon Heights with in the area of 120 yards offense in the first half. And Ludington with about 68.
Sofa has 61 yards of those 68 yards for Ludington. And Tigers switching their running, sharing it with both Davis and Simon, with each of them having around 50 yards apiece.
So Sofa, Davis, and Simon all with a chance to go over the 100-yard mark here this evening. It is Bell again at quarterback for Ludington. Backs in the eye. That was Sofa on the carry once again. Picking up probably 2. No, they're going to say he lost 1. So that's going to put Ludington with a 2nd and 11 situation as we're just underway here in quarter number 3 from Muskegon Heights.
Movement by Ludington.
It's like a Chinese fire drill out there.
Well, Ludington, of course, wanting to come out. They get the football. They want to come down and establish something and get the ball into the end zone and get the lead, or at least a tie. And Muskegon Heights saying, of course, we want to come down and shut them off right in the first, beginning the 3rd quarter of the game here, and try and have the momentum for the second half.
Kind of a sparse crowd on this Friday evening for this very important Seaway Conference battle between the Heights Tigers and the Ludington Orioles. Jason Sofa with a nice effort.
Well, he was just tripped up there by Corey Chandler, who's a senior. He's 5'7", 160. But Sofa was gone. Had Chandler not just grabbed onto him, made the old shoestring tackle.
Picking up about 5 on the play. It'll make it 3rd and 5. Ball at about the 42, it looks like.
Now it looks like movement on both sides. We'll see who they call it on. Tigers, of course, are pointing at Ludington. And the officials agree. That is not how you want to start the second half.
Is it possible that Bell may have changed the cadence a little bit, trying to get the Heights to jump?
That, or you got Ludington coming out and they're really fired up and we want to do something, and just a little bit of their concentration not there.
Now here's Bell pitching it again to Sofa. And he's getting some yardage, but boy, I tell you, he's earning it.
Well, it's going to force him into a punting situation.
Sofa will do the punting for Ludington. Down to about the 38 or 39 yard line. Nice tackle.
Going to be a flag.
By 86 for Ludington. Flags on the play. That was Kyle Tucker, a sophomore, 6'2", 170 pounds for the Orioles.
Well, Sanders bringing the ball back. for the Tigers, and that's going to move the Tigers back 15 yards. And penalty-free for the most part first half, only a couple of penalties, and now in the second half here, we've already had 3, and it's only 9 minutes and 19 seconds into the third quarter, or less than the third quarter, I should say.
Well, Ludington knocked off Reese Puffer, team that we saw a couple of weeks ago, defeat Spring Lake, but that was the Rockets' second conference loss. They had earlier lost to these Muskegon Heights Tigers. And Muskegon Heights will start this possession at about their 20-yard line. And here comes Simon. Down the side. Cuts for the open man. Simon's got nobody to beat. He's gone.
There's a flag, or no, they're going to say he was out of bounds. That was from the 15-yard line, and he brought a lot of excitement here.
85 yards, but they're going to call it back as he stepped out of bounds. Nice effort, though, by Simon. He was hemmed in, broke through the pursuit, and was off to the races.
Well, that run right there shows you what a great job the Ludington Orioles defense did in the first half in forcing the Tigers to drive 93 yards for a score and not give them any big plays, because there's a lot of exceptional speed on this Heights Tigers football team.
Well, at the intermission, we were talking with veteran Heights basketball coach Lee Gilbert, and we were commenting about how football is not really in the forefront at Muskegon Heights. It's been a number of years since they've really had a bona fide football team, and they definitely have a bona fide team, a team that perhaps could be in the playoffs. So a lot hinges on this contest.
First and 10. Well, that was Chandler, the ball carrier, and he was stopped in there by Chandler is 5'7", 160, and he just took on Bob Organ, who's 6'5", 250.
Kind of a mismatch.
And Bob was able to hang on to Corey, just grab him by the jersey, and Corey was running almost in place in the air. Going to bring up a 2nd and 7 as Chandler was able to get 7 yards on that play.
Robertson, the big center, out over the ball once again. Gilbert at quarterback. Man in motion is Witcher. Handing it off to, I believe, number 1, Simon again.
Well, again, with the Tigers, with the speed that they have, it's almost like every time you got that feeling that they could break a big one. And just excellent tackling and good position by the Orioles. They're able to keep them in check. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Tigers.
And 7.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Muskegon Heights has scored in the quarter, but it didn't count.
Movement now by the Tigers. And that's not going to make Coach Metcalf happy. Is now, instead of a 3rd and about 1, he's got a 3rd and 6. It's really interesting, too, in talking with Coach Lee Gilbert. He's talking about that there are 6 of his players for this season down on the football team. And I had to kind of laugh when he said, I got my fingers crossed, because just hoping that they come out and healthy. But I think that's great. And that's what we really need to do, is to see kids playing more than just one sport and be multiple sport athletes. And it's good to see that.
Takes a lot of discipline to get that done, but it's great to have an opportunity to play like that. There's Gilbert throwing the ball out. Defending on the play was 86 Tucker, the sophomore.
Intended for Samuel, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 6. And a punting situation here for the Tigers, as what looked like was going to be a big offensive showing here has turned into, again, a defensive battle early in the third quarter. So
back once again to punt for Muskegon Heights is Wilson. Ball's taken at about the 32, 33, make about the 35-yard line where Ludington will get underway.
Well, that was Steve Ames, and he ran into Willie Billings, his own player. They kind of bumped into each other. And the Orioles going to start out with the ball on their own 35-yard line, just over the 35-yard line.
Haven't seen Bell put the ball up much tonight. We might watch for that here. Again, it's Sofa. If you're just joining us and you haven't seen this youngster play before, he's a 6'2", 215-pound senior running back, an honorable mention from last year's All-State Roundup.
Second and 6.
Tucker's the man on motion here on the left side. Ludington showing those wide receivers, but they haven't really gone to them. Got to be wondering if they're saving them or if they're just using them as decoys.
Well, with a 7-0 ball game and with a running back tandem that they have, with being the Orioles, if you can keep cracking 5 yards of cracks, they're going to go for it. What coaches always like to talk about, you need 3.5 yards per play, and that will get you the first down. If you get in 4-down territory, then it's 2.5 yards. And it's 3rd and 5, so it's a big play for both teams here in the third quarter with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. The Tigers lead 7-0.
Here's Bell dropping back, throwing, had his man.
That was Bob Organ.
81 over there, side.
Well, you called that one right. On a 3rd and 5, they decided to throw it. And now brings up a 4th and 5 for the Orioles.
Well, the Heights defense is held, and it apparently has forced Ludington into a punt. A little bit of a low snap. Sofa getting it away.
Sanders deep for the Tigers.
He's at about the 19-yard line, up to the 20, 25. Thought we might have a face mask there, but...
That was David Voss. He got him from the back of the jersey. And Voss is 6'4", 250 pounds. A solid 250. He just grabbed Sanders with the back of the jerseys and wrestled him down. It's a pretty good field position for the Tigers as they're going to have the ball at their own 32-yard line.
So the Heights Tigers in business again. They're moving left to right on your screen. Third quarter of action. They lead 7-0. There goes Simon again, cracking off the left side.
Scott Rowe in there, junior, 6', 220 pounds, tackle. As the Tigers attempting to go with a counter play and take advantage of the quickness of the Oriole defense, hoping to catch them off guard and reacting to the first pass. But Orioles not fooled. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
Single back offense with 4 wideouts. Almost a run and shoot. Here's Gilbert throwing. Nice catch.
What a catch. See who that is over there.
Looks like number 80.
Well, number 80.
Kenneth Samuel.
Samuel, that was a nice play. He tipped it up. The ball was thrown high. Gilbert did a nice job, too, on the run, but he threw it was high. And Samuel able to tip it and keep his eye. Great concentration though to get that ball. First down. Big pass play there for the Tigers.
4-minute mark of the third quarter. And here goes the Muskegon Heights running back off to the races. going to be number 5, I believe. That's Darren Davis. And the Muskegon Heights Tigers break on top 13-0 at the 3:46 mark of this third quarter.
There is no flag on that play. Excellent run. And Ludington was forced to be spread out in that double flat formation. And we've been talking about that, about how Ludington's had a lot of success containing those quick runners. And there's an example by Davis just how fast they really are.
Well, once he got into the secondary, he was gone. Going for 2. I don't think they got it. They did not. So Glenn Metcalf electing not to go for the point after by the kick, electing to go for a possible 2-point play, and it did not work.
That's a big touchdown for the Tigers in a game like this. It's been such great defensive battle here. And the Orioles going to need to really get some momentum here and get some things going, as that run and that score really brought a lot of excitement to not only the fans, but to the confidence of the Tigers. And they've had a lot of confidence anyways. They were leading 7-0 prior to that play.
How does this change your game plan, being down 13-0 with a little under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter?
Well, you have a lot of time left. You don't want to panic and then make another mistake that can really put you in a tough spot.
So you basically stay with what got you here.
I think you stay with your game plan. You got excellent running back. You just come on down and bring it down. But you don't have a lot of time either to use the whole clock. But there's a whole quarter left and 3 minutes and 46 seconds. But you need to come down here and get something to give your team some confidence and get the momentum back. And as long as you got the football, of course, the other team can't score either.
And here's the kick to the left side of the field, kind of a short kick. Ludington's going to end up with excellent field position. That was Oregon.
Oregon, and it took about 5-6 guys to bring him down. You're going to have somebody running back at kickoff. He's a good-sized guy to be able to do it.
Probably sacrifice a little speed, but you've got a lot of power.
You're not going to have one guy bring him down, not at full speed.
It is still Bell at quarterback. I formation showing 2 wideouts. The sofa again. Hangs onto the football very well.
Well, that was Darren Embry in there for the tackle on both. But not until after Silver got 8 yards, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 2 for the Orioles.
So good first down pickup by Sofa. Here's Sofa again. And Jason Sofa all the way inside the 20-yard line down to the 18. And that'll be the deepest penetration of the ball game for the Ludington Orioles.
Excellent run by Sofa. He made a nice move in there to get the first down and then made another cut to the outside. And just that quick, the Orioles respond back is what they needed to do. The ball is on the 20-yard line. First and goal. They need to come out of here with some type of a score. With 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. They're behind 13-0.
And Samuels checked in as one of the cornerbacks leaves the lineup. Big rush on the quarterback. Bell gets away from it. Now he's going to run. And he really got popped by number 3.
Well, that's Corey Chandler. Chandler did give him a good hit. And a lot of excitement on one play there. A lot of running around. Could have been a big loss, and instead ended up on a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, it sure could have, because Samuels had the excellent rush on the quarterback. and almost had him, and Bell struggled away and ended up turning it into a pretty good game. Muskegon Heights going to take a timeout. We're at the 2:10 mark of quarter number 3, and they lead it 13-0 over the Ludington Orioles, and you're watching the action here on West Michigan Cable. Back once again at Muskegon Heights, Klaus Helfers along with Floyd Fonte, and we're seeing a good one. The Heights Tigers and the Ludington Orioles, and Ludington looking for their first score. Bell's in the pocket, throws it out here, had Oregon out in the flat, and might have overthrown him just a bit. He was rushed a little bit. That Heights defense was in on him.
Well, Coach Metcalf taking a timeout, a well-used timeout, as he wanted to stop the momentum of the Orioles here, as they've had a nice drive coming down. And on that drive, 30-yard run by Sofa, which put him over the 100-yard mark. And Sofa going to be at the tailback as the Orioles have 3rd and 6.
Draw play.
He's going to be close, Ron. He's going to be short. And they'll make a 4th down situation here. Putting on the mark. About a 4th and 1, a long one.
Once again, we're happy to have the 3rd Avenue Family Clinic with Dr. Robert H. Pierce and Pamela K. Brown, family nurse practitioner, along as one of our telecast supporters. They, along with the Clover Bar and Restaurant in Grand Haven, along with us all season long for high school football.
Play the game right here for both teams. And it looks like Sofa's got it. It's going to be really close.
Well, this is getting real interesting. We're down to about a minute and a half remaining in the 3rd quarter. Ludington obviously with the momentum.
And they've got the first down, a big first down by Sofa.
And the question is, will that 2-point try come back to haunt Muskegon Heights?
Ball on about the 7-yard line.
Kirkpatrick on the carry. It was Sofa.
Stopped in there by Standard. And Johnson also in there. And going to bring up about a 2nd and 10. A little bit of a loss on that play.
Jason Sofa trying to middle of that Muskegon Heights defense. Clock continuing to move. 20 seconds left in quarter number 3. And I don't know whether they're going to get this final play underway or not here in the 3rd quarter. Clock may expire. We're inside 10 seconds. And I think Ludington is just going to let it run out. They are. So 3 quarters in the book. And Muskegon Heights with a 13-0 lead over the Ludington Orioles. Again, the telecast underwritten in part by the 3rd Avenue Family Clinic in Fruitport and the Clover Bar and Restaurant in Grand Haven. Now we're just about ready to get things underway. This is the final quarter. And the wind apparently blowing in the face of Ludington.
They're going to be looking at a 3rd and 8. They're on about the 8-yard line. And they can't get a first down. So they've got 2 downs here to get into the end zone. As they're behind 13-0 to the Muskegon Heights Tigers.
Senior quarterback Aaron Bell going all the way for the Ludington Orioles, and he's being rushed. And he's going to be brought down as there were 3 Heights Tigers in on him almost immediately.
Well, the main guy that gave him the pressure there was Sanders. That was a big defensive play for the Tigers. As it also takes, well, I was going to say it takes them out of field goal range, but not necessarily, because Sofa just put on his kicking shoe, and he's going to what looks like attempt to go for it.
Was there anything this guy doesn't do? That's going to be under the crossbar.
So that was a big play as, we saw Sosa last year kick some field goals, and I think he might have had the difference had there not been that loss there on the play, but...
kind of squibbed off to the right side. So the Heights Tigers have dodged a big bullet to start this fourth quarter, and they will be getting the ball back, the lead, and the clock on their side.
And they also have the win, so they have a lot of factors, and the big challenge now for the Ludington Orioles is they want to get in and win this game, and if they win the game, they'll be tied with the Tigers for the Seaway Conference lead. If not, the Tigers win, they're going to have a
They're going to be in the driver's seat. Yeah, they certainly are.
And they come back out in the double slot formation.
And the Heights Tigers looking for a bit more. Nice cutback ability at these back pass from the Heights Tigers. They have good instinct.
Well, I know Coach Metcalf is saying to his players right now, let's have another drive like we had with the 93-yarder and just use this clock up if nothing else. And as you say, Klaus, Ludington now going up against the clock also as there's 10 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the game.
Gilbert's at quarterback. There was a fumble. Let's see who's got it. Scramble still continuing. And it looks like the Heights have recovered, so that's twice in this game that they have fumbled and gotten it back.
Well, that's what Ludington needs right now, some kind of turnover and have something happen. Because they just drove that ball down there, and they had a first to go from the 10-yard line, and they're down a little bit right now. And they need to hold on and attempt to get this football back so they can get themselves back into this game. And, of course, the Tigers on the other side of the ball want to just keep grinding the ball out, and they've got a 1st and 10.
And the pitch went to number Marlo Simon, the tailback, taking the pitch from quarterback Kenya Gilbert.
Oregon in there to stop Simon. And the Tigers, they run right at Bob Oregon. They're not backing away from him, and run right at his side. A lot of coaches like to do that, run right at the team's best player. And the Tigers are going to have a 2nd and 3.
Good defensive play.
Well, that was Matt Bryan, I believe, of the Orioles. In there to shut down Davis. And going to bring up a 3rd and 4. Just under 9 minutes left.
Muskegon Heights is doing what they wanted to do. They're milking the clock. They have the lead, 13-0, and they just may have drawn Ludington offside.
Now, Ludington's pointing at them, and of course, Tigers are pointing back to Ludington, and it's against the Tigers, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 now.
So the Orioles trying to put Muskegon Heights in a punting situation. They hope to get the ball back. They need good field position. And most important of all, they need the ball.
Well, last time the Tigers in this position, Gilbert able to throw it to Samuel, and who caught a great pass to set up the next play, which was a 50-yard run by Davis. 3rd and about 8 for the Tigers. As the Orioles are switching all over.
Sanders was the man in motion. Here's number 1, Simon, the ball carrier.
Got a flag on the play also. Tigers are going to go back again, at least another 5, unless it's a holding. Nope, another 5. And bring up 3rd and 12 here. So after being able to sustain pretty good drives and move the football, the Tigers have some problems here with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They lead 13-0 over the Ludington Orioles.
Moody has just checked into the lineup for the Heights Tigers. Now here's Gilbert. One man back to protect him. Throws it over the middle. Got his man.
Samuel, and there's a flag on the play too, as Stofa was able to make a tackle, along with Steve Ames in there. And
they're pointing
towards the Tigers.
Yeah, they are. Maybe a clipping.
The 3rd and 13. Samuel able to get down and get inside the 35-yard line. They're out there discussing it.
They are going to take it back.
It's going to be a big walk-off, but Tigers going to have a first down. They'll take it. That's to give them a first down, and they were looking at that 3rd and 13, and they were able to come right out of it.
Witcher has just exited the lineup. I should say Moody from Muskegon Heights. High formation. Handing it off to the first man through, which was Davis.
Tackled by Matt Bryan again. Matt's a senior, 6 foot, 180 pounds. We'll bring up about a 2nd and 8. Clock is rolling. 7 minutes and 14 seconds left here in the game. Tigers doing a good job of taking their time, although right now there's going to be some confusion there with them. But I was just going to say they were doing a good time of running that clock down, but they're going to need to get this one off, or they might have a delay of game going against them.
Man in motion is Moody. The pitch will go to Simon.
He fumbled the ball.
He fumbled it. Ludington says they have it. Let's see.
They do.
They do. So there's the break that the Orioles have been waiting for.
Whoa, what a big break.
Jeff Saborowski.
Got a big fumble recovery. That penalty on the Tigers that moved them back, gave them a first down, and a little bit of a factor here. As this is Orioles' opportunity right here. They have the ball on the 47-yard line of the Tigers.
Very stiff wind blowing in the face of quarterback Aaron Bell. Oregon on the end around.
Just when you think the momentum of the game is one way, it begins to change a little bit here, and new life again for the Orioles. Just under 6 minutes now. Of course, they are working against the clock, but we said it the last time they were down here, but they really have to this time. They don't have. They have maybe one more chance to get the football back, and they got to score on this drive. 2nd and 5.
Quarterback Aaron Bell is back. Got the protection, rolls out of it. Now he's being rushed. Breaks the tackle. Got away from Big Roberson.
Good running inside.
That was a busted play, basically, and Aaron Bell ad-libbing out there and picking up pretty good yardage.
We got a first down. That's not how you like to do it, but you'll take it, especially when you're down And that clock is still rolling. 5 minutes and 23 seconds left in the game. 1st and 10 for the Ludington Orioles.
Double back set. Bell fell down.
That was Sofa, and I think he tripped on his guard. That would be Scott Rowe. Scott's a junior, 6 foot, 220 pounds. I think Sofa just tripped on him. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 8. And the Orioles need to be hustling right here as they're in a fast-paced offense and should be here as it's under 5 minutes now.
They send double wideouts to the left. Backs in the eye. Quarterback is Aaron Bell. Sparks his signals. Back in the pocket. Looking. Being rushed. And brought down from behind.
Well, flag on the play after a big loss. As Switzer able to get in and get Aaron Bell, and it's against Height Tigers. That's not going to make the home team happy at all. That's going to give Ludington a 1st down, and that's not going to make Coach Metcalf happy either. There's going to be a timeout, and he's going to discuss it with the officials.
Yeah, I think Glenn wants a clarification on exactly what that call was. It was obviously a major foul.
Well, he wanted to know who it was on so he could talk to him and say, "What they done?" 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. We just stopped him down here in a big 3rd down play for a loss. And then you make a mistake like that, an unnecessary mistake, and to keep Ludington in the game here. Ludington going to have the ball on the 20-yard line of the Height Tigers. They're behind 13-0. They need to, again, get something here and then they'll more than likely, of course, go for the onside kick as the offense of the Tigers had a lot of success in running down that ball.
These Ludington Orioles, by the way, were 9-0 last year during the regular season, made the playoffs, and they're looking to put another good year together this year, but a big Seaway Conference loss here would really hurt.
I always think this could be the Seaway Conference Championship game right here as far as settling things.
Bell is throwing it out there. I believe that's Oregon.
It's going to be just short of the 1st down, I believe, as there was a screen to him on the left side. The Tigers taking some time getting off the player, as they should, and that they're leading. Under 4 minutes, just under 4 minutes now left in the game. 2nd and 4.
Heights defense needs to come up with a big play. Flag on the play. It came out almost before the Ludington play was underway. Let's see who it's against. And this one's going to go against the Orioles, it looks like. Just a 5-yard walk-off, but penalty at this point, very crucial.
I think that might have been against even one of the receivers out there moving, and that's not, you never want movement, but there's no reason for receivers to jump off because all they have to do is, if they don't know the count, just look and wait for the ball to go. But that's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Orioles.
Here's Aaron Bell. He's being rushed. Gets the ball away. Throws it in the end zone. It's going to be intercepted by Muskegon Heights. And with that, the Tigers are a step closer to putting this one away.
3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the game. We're still trying to figure out who was that got that interception.
21, that's Moody.
Moody got a biggest interception of the season so far. As he's taking on a team that the contender with the Heights Tigers for the Seaway Conference title.
Did his job beautifully as a safety. Played it just the way he's supposed to play it.
Well, you're going to see the Tigers taking their time and just grinding that football down. And you're going to see the Orioles attempt to knock the ball out of the carrier's hands and get a turnover here.
And it looks like this final Friday in September will be a memorable one for the Heights Tigers as they are in control. The clock showing under 3 minutes remaining, and they lead it 13-0. And we've heard Simon's name called an awful lot here this evening.
Simon moving around a lot on that play. In 33, Steve Ames able to get in and finally stop him. As that clock is rolling with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. Third and 8 for the Tigers.
It's going to take a miracle now for Ludington. They're trying to gang tackle the ball carrier.
I think you'll see them call a timeout, them being Ludington right now, as they're going to get the football punted back to them. And there is a timeout with 1 minute and 50 seconds left. And decision time now for the Ludington Orioles. Do they go for the return, or do they go for an attempted block? And I think they'll probably go for the return, as you don't want to risk roughing the kicker here and giving the ball back to the Tigers, because then you pretty much assure yourself you're not going to get the football back. And they should have excellent field position here for the Orioles, and even, you know, possibly a run back for a touchdown, and then you got a lot of possibilities.
Oh, we had that rain in the first half, and then it's just kind of cooled off and become kind of a blustery fall evening. The game time temperature in the area of 61 degrees. Probably a lot cooler than that now. But it's been a very quick football game. As you mentioned, Floyd, most of them have this year.
Going to be Steve Ames deep for...
Excellent kick by Wilson. Ames has trouble with it. The Heights has the football.
Tough break for Steve Ames and the Ludington Orioles. As it was a high, excellent kick in the stud cloth, and Steve gave the fair catch and then attempted to catch. I think somehow maybe he thought that he had to catch it after he called the fair catch or something, because it seemed like he ran over there and he wouldn't have had to catch it. But a very, very tough break for the Orioles, as that pretty much assures the Tigers with 1 minute and 40 seconds. And the Tigers coming off throwing the football.
Here's Gilbert going for the home run ball.
Right on the official. Wow.
Oh, and Moody is hot. Moody is hot. He was going down, running that fly pattern, and he ran right smack into the official.
Oh, boy, they're going to have a discussion, and the crew, the officials' crew there are going to really razz him about that. You got half the crowd booing the officials and upset, and you got another half cheering him because he ran into the official. But this game's been everything that we thought. We got everything going on here. Even the officials now are jumping in and part of the action with 1 minute and 34 seconds left.
Moody's coming out of the game. Metcalf wants him out of
another 15-yard.
No.
Wow, I would have thought maybe they'd have him redo the play. They didn't even do that. Gave him a second down and 10.
Here comes the pitch. It is Simon. Simon working his way down the sideline.
He's going to be short.
He'll be out of bounds at about the 42-yard line, it looks like. Now they're going to bring it further up the field, about the 46-yard line.
He's going to be short. Going to be about a third and about 3. So, big play here yet with 1 minute and 28 seconds left. What looked like could be Coach Metcalf and the Tigers just running the ball down. Coach Metcalf saying, let's go at it. And definitely make sure that we're all set here with a possible touchdown pass. Instead, the Tigers looking at 3rd and 3.
Handing it off, breaking to the outside, and he looks like he's gone for the touchdown.
Got a flag on the play.
I think that's Davis.
It is Davis, but there's a flag on the play, and I think there's going to be a clipping on whoever the blocker was against Sofa. I think somebody got Sofa from behind. So, with 1 minute and 18 seconds left, we still got a lot of action left in this ball game. And again, the home not going to like this.
They're not going to invite this crew back in a real hurry, I'll tell you that.
They're not happy with this crew right now. And penalty-free first half, and the second half has been all kinds of excitement with a lot of penalties, a lot of flags thrown down. So what was a touchdown and the ensuring cap for the game is not there. Still 13-0, Tigers over the Ludington Orioles. So 1 minute and 18 seconds left.
It's got to be the longest minute and 21 seconds I can remember.
Well, we always say it when it gets down to something like this about how slow that clock is rolling for Coach Metcalf and how fast for the Ludington Orioles. But now we're discussing more the officials are as far as the distance. And
well, Metcalf wanted clarification earlier on a call, and now one of the officials talking to the referee.
Well, it isn't over till it's over. 1 minute and 18
That's what
seconds
they say.
left. It's pretty much
Here goes Simon. Simon's got one man to beat, and down to about the
15-yard line.
Yeah, inside the 15
another
and about
first
the
down.
13.
That play only took 7 seconds. They'll start the clock as soon as they set the change.
We're still trying to figure out why the ball was brought back to the point after the receiver ran into the official. Gilbert's going to be brought down. Big Bob Organ's out there.
Clock keeps rolling.
Darrell Plamondon was also out there. He's about 6'2", 180.
Under 30 seconds now. The Tigers really don't even have to take another snap here, and they have the football game, but I would think that they're going to probably maybe run one more.
Now the hometown faithful are going to love this Friday night. Kenya Gilbert on the quarterback sneak. And that's going to be the end of the ball game as the Muskegon Heights Tigers stay perfect in the Seaway Conference with a convincing and impressive 13-0 victory over the Ludington Orioles. It's the celebration after the victory, and Glenn Metcalf, you got to be feeling pretty good.
Well, it was a good victory for us. We knew it would be a tough ball game, a good physical ball game. And I thought both teams played real hard.
What's been the key to your football team this year?
Well, I tell you, they're really tough. They like to hit. And I think we've been able to mix it up a little bit with the run and the passing game. And we're pretty well balanced. There's no outstanding linemen. Everybody's pretty well about equal, and we can throw them around in there each kind of way. But these kids, they're just working real hard. And I think that's the key right now.
What's been the talk around school? Because football's not usually in the forefront. We were kind of kidding with Lee Gilbert at the half. He usually takes the spotlight, not the football team.
Well, he's going to have to really put on a show this year. No, it's been good. I think it really got the school in a good spirit. I'm proud of the kids. They're working very hard. And I think football is something that everybody can just, grab right on. And I think our school is getting off to a good start this year with our football program, the way it is right now.
Well, we've been real happy to be here. We heard about how good this football team was a few weeks back. We did the Spring Lake Reese Puffer game, and we heard at that time that you were for real, and we thought we'd get a good look at you, and you are for real.
Well, we're doing a real good job. One thing I think we've been fortunate enough now, we've been really good, tough playing second half. And the kids really came out tonight, and I told them they're in the driver's seat, and they just have to take care of themselves and go out and play good hard football.
Well, it's at a point now in the season where they're going to have to come and get you.
Well, we knew this would be a tough game for us. Ludington always play us tough. It's just a good rival. When we go up there, it's tough. When they come down here, it's tough. And Coach Seaway always have his kids ready to play. And I think he's really turned their football program around. And it was just, we feel real good coming out with a win.
Coach, we're really talking about the offense on both teams. They had Sofa over there over yards, and you got Davis over 100 yards also. But one of the things I said to Klaus and to the viewers was, these are two great defensive teams out there with 7-0, and we kept talking about how they'd have to, Ludington be able to shut down your speedy running backs, but you guys would also have to shut down Sofa in order to close them down. Your comments about your defense.
Well, we talked about all week that we couldn't give him a 250-some yard game. And I told him if we can hold him right around about 100 yards, I think we'll be in the ball game. And our game plan, we want to keep the ball away from them. It wasn't a thing where we want to just put on a lot of points and stuff, but we just want to try to control the ball. And Sofa is a good runner. And they do a good job opening holes for him. He's a strong, powerful runner. He can punish you at times if he get going. Okay.
We felt the whole game turn when you took that ball 93 yards and really marched.
Well, that was a good march for us, and we needed a good drive going. We can do that at times, and it really happened tonight. And our backs really wanted to run tonight, and I told them, well, they'll get a chance to run and everything. We knew we had to take it right to Ludington, and I didn't want to get in the air that much. And so many things can happen when you start throwing that ball around.
Well, you've got Orchard View, you've got Fruitport, you've got Fremont, and then that big season capper with Muskegon Catholic, and that could have big playoff implications.
Well, these kids came back after our Oak Ridge loss and decided to set some goals for themselves. And they decided they wanted to win the conference, and I told them that's an outstanding goal. We haven't had a conference championship, and that's one thing they're working forward to right now. And we're just taking it one at a time. And we did a good job. The kids had good concentration on Ludington, and next week is Orchard View. I told them, and they feel the same way. To them, every game is a big game for them. And we're just going to take them one at a time and see what happens.
Well, we know this guy is quite an assistant for Gene Gifford. I didn't know how good of a football coach he is. Obviously, you wear two hats pretty well.
Well, sometimes this year's really doing good. And last year, we had an outstanding season out at the college and with some outstanding players. And I'm fortunate enough to come back with a good group of kids in football this year.
Glenn, again, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck. Maybe you'll have to delay a little bit of coaching there in basketball, right? Get on that road.
Well, we don't want to talk about that. Let's just do one at a time.
Yes.
Orchard View, we got Orchard View, and Fremont is playing really well now. And, Muskegon Catholic is just an outstanding ball club. And, you got some other people in there. You really got to talk about Fruitport. Fruitport has an outstanding program. They're right in the hunt. And, I think sometimes it can be a ball game of mistakes. They beat this Ludington team, too. So we still got our hands full, and we're just going to take it one week at a time.
All right, good luck. Congratulations again, Coach.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. Okay. Glenn Metcalf, the head football coach of the Heights Tigers, and Floyd, this was everything that we thought it would be. A Seaway Conference Championship game is the way it was billed, and that's the way it basically worked out. It was a hard-hitting football game, 13-0 final. The Heights Tigers win it. They're in the driver's seat now, but as Coach Metcalf mentioned, easily, he's not looking past anybody the rest of the way.
Well, they didn't get to lead the Seaway Conference by overlooking anybody. And he's going to do a good job, Coach Metcalf, of what he said. Every game is one game at a time, and your next game is the biggest game of the season, and don't look ahead and don't let down. But he's got some good tools there. He's got some great running backs, a good offensive line, to open up the holes for the running back, and an outstanding defense. And on the side of Ludington, you know, they're still in the running too, and they got some good running backs, good line, and both teams having some excellent defense, as we saw in the first half, and a lot of offensive explosion in the second half.
Well, we made reference to that 93-yard drive that got the Heights Tigers on the board. That was capped off by a run, and then later in the ball game, it was a run from about 50 yards out. And the point after that time around was no good as they went for 2 points. We thought it might come back and haunt them, but it didn't. And the Heights Tigers finish it with a 13-0 victory over the Ludington Orioles. And they're in the driver's seat as far as the Seaway Conference is concerned. Thanks again to our telecast underwriter.